Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well during the quarantine where everyone's staying inside. I've been staying at home and making music, and I'm starting to post some videos now, but I decided to make this quick video because I was having a lot of troubles finding resources online on how to do it, but there is a way of doing it, and that is how to control Serum with a Midi controller. Now, it's pretty straightforward. You can find a lot of tutorials on how to do the simple Midi learn and then do the Midi mapping, or going into your DAW and mapping it onto here. Like in my instance with Serum and Ableton. But there's actually more functions to that are hidden on the Serum forums, and that is how to control, this button right here. The dream is to have like a MIDI learn button for these two buttons in order for me to scroll through presets, but unfortunately it's not as straightforward as every other knob here. So today what I'm going to show you is how to essentially do this. Okay, so if I go into any of my banks, I'm on like a Cymatics one right now. I can basically scroll through all my bass presets. And I have this mapped onto a MIDI controller. So for all you performers out there, this is a great way of utilizing the functions in order to scroll through presets. I'll quickly show you what I have to do on the computer first, and then afterwards I'll grab out my phone and record what I'm actually doing on my MIDI controller. Alright, so first things first, the folder that you want to get into is called serum.cfg. So if we go into computers here, I just typed in serum.cfg up in here in my computers folder, and then it eventually searches up. By default, if it doesn't open with Notepad, just right click it and then click on open with Notepad. Okay, so then once you open that, it goes into here. Now there's these windows here, and I think what it's doing is it's corresponding to stuff that's within the global tab. Yeah, so just a bit of a warning. If you accidentally hit the buttons and you forgot to save, your preset changes are gone. So you want to know if your MIDI controller is giving off either a note value or a CC value. So in my case, my MIDI controller is giving off CC values. CC values meaning, like on a MIDI controller, whether it be a knob or a little button, and a note being like a keyboard, like the white keys on your MIDI keyboard, or a note drum pad. So you want to know like what information it's giving off, and based on that, what you'll have to do is put a number 1 here for CC, or a number 2 here, or a number 2 here for notes, which is what I'm going to be doing today. I have a MIDI controller, so I'm going to use it for CC notes. And then from here, you want to put the CC notes of one button and then the CC notes of the second button. So this is scrolling to the left. This is scrolling to the left, and this here is scrolling to the right. And a quick thing to note, you can actually also do this with the wavetable positions. So if I go back into Serum here, you could do it for these arrows too. And that's really nice for all the sound designers out there. I'll eventually be putting these on later. I'm going to be doing more mappings into Serum today. But I'll just quickly show you guys my setup and give you guys an idea of, what I'm trying to do and what you guys can do as well. And here's my MIDI keyboard. So I have the left-right scrolls mapped onto this button here. So every time I press it, it's going to scroll through a different preset. And if I hit back, it will go through another preset. Okay? But one important thing to know is that you have to know what CC note the MIDI controller is giving off. In my case, if I'm pressing this, it's CC CC77. And if we press back, it's CC00. So now if we go back into that notepad, or sorry, the CFG file, it will say here, so the back one is 0 and the other one is 77. Notice I didn't write CC, and that was the mistake that I made at first, is I put CC in it, and that's why it didn't work. But depending on your MIDI controller, it's probably going to be different. It's not going to give out the same CCs as myself. So yeah, when you hit X, make sure to hit save. Make sure to save this before moving into a new file. Okay, but once I hit X, I would reset my whole Ableton and then reopen Serum, and then this thing should start working. Another thing to mention too is make sure that the ARM track is on, meaning that your MIDI controller is sending information to Serum. All right, so I thought I'd clarify a little bit. Okay, so generally speaking, this is just the basics of MIDI. MIDI is actually very, very comprehensive, and there's a lot of topics that we can go into. But generally speaking, a CC signal value is generally speaking given off by buttons. Okay, and then a note value could be notes on the keyboard, or it could be stuff on the drum pad. That will give off a note value. I use Serum so much that I've dedicated a whole side of my studio to just Serum and all its mappings. So hopefully once I get that done, I'll be able to use Serum and a MIDI controller to just create sounds on the fly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have any questions or confusions on how to do it, please let me know.